This is a new and strange environment at first.
A band that believed in a dream.
They play some of the classic favorite polka music the way we may remember them, but in a little different way.
They studied the navigation, the engineering, the physical problems of space flight.
He was told there was no room for his accordion or for polka music in the official high school band.
Finally, the long program of training, development, and testing was complete.
Certainly are the new face of polka music.
Go for deploy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time now for the Chardon Polka Band's Interweb Polka Extravaganza and podcast. Starring your host, Jake Cowie. Featuring Mike Franklin, Mitch Lawrence, and Bob Young. And now, from the Chardon Polka Band's world headquarters in Burton, Ohio, here's your host.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you ready for some polka? That's right, we're back. The Chardon Polka Band. Well, it's me, Jake, broadcasting here from the basement, and I am glad that you guys are here. Let's kick things off with some polka. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting to you live from the Chardon Polka Band World Headquarters in Burton, Ohio. I am the captain of this little polka extravaganza. That's right, my name is Jake Cowie. Now I head up a group called the Chardon Polka Band. But because of social distancing and all that good stuff, we're not all together broadcasting here live from Chardon Polka Band World Headquarters. But we are going to feature a little bit from the group tonight. Both some storytelling and some music. And we've got a very special guest tonight. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. We got Carl Finch from Brave Combo going to be joining us live tonight. That's right, we're in for some polka celebration. Let's see how many people recognize this one. Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kinda dumb with a finger and a thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and hit the ground running. Did it make that's not to live for fun? Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You never know if you don't go. You never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. All that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. That's right, it's Smash Mouth. It's a cool place, and they say it gets colder. You bonded up now, wait till you get older. But the media man begs a dipper, judging by the hole in the satellite picture. The ice we skate is getting pretty thin. Water's getting warm, so we might as well swim. World's on fire, how about yours? That's the way I like it, and never getting bored. Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get the show on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. Woohoo! Oh my goodness, friends and neighbors, welcome back to this lovely, lovely variety show. And of course, that was a little bit of the Liechtensteiner polka, along with a hit from, the wonderful, sorry, I got to set the Quartervox down, it's super heavy. That was the Liechtensteiner polka, along with All-Star from Smash Mouth. And Smash Mouth, ladies and gentlemen, let me just show you a picture of if you don't know this wonderful group from the 90s. And of course, if you're joining us on our podcast, you can't see the picture, and I'm sorry. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Smash Mouth, and they were right. The years start coming, and they don't stop coming. And this year is a crazy year, the year 2020. Many things are happening, and many things are not happening, such as some wonderful annual events we play at, like the Worst Fest in New Braunfels, Texas. Sadly, that's not happening. Also canceling this week, the Columbus Oktoberfest, a lovely, lovely, lovely event, and we are sad to see. I know I'm laughing as I say we're sad, but that's because I'm reading the scroller and the people commenting funny and wonderful things, but truly we're sad to see these events not happening. But it does mean that we're going to be continuing these wild and wacky broadcasts from the Chardon Polka Band World Headquarters directly to your living rooms, kitchens, wherever you happen to be watching the show. And of course, if you're not watching the show, drinking a platform beer, I'm drinking one called a Road Most Traveled. And if you're not drinking a platform beer, then seriously, what are you doing with your life? Go get some platform beer, a Cleveland favorite. Oh my goodness. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, coming up on the program, we have Carl Finch, the godfather of alternative polka, is going to be joining via video. I can't wait to talk to Carl. Before I talk to Carl, though, the Chardon Polka Band, and I mean the rest of the crew, wants to talk to you. I got Mitch, Mike, and who's the drummer now? Bob. I got Mitch, Mike, and Bob, and we're going to talk a little bit about this subject, alternative polka. So let me bring up the guys here, and this is just a fun little tidbit for your ears and eyes. What does alternative polka mean to you? To me?
I feel like alternative music, when you talk about alternative rock, you use the word alternative, and it's really what it means is just it's an evolution, standing on the shoulders of a different type of music.
I guess the goals of alternative music is to change something about the music.
Able to take influences of your upbringing and bring it into a genre that's been around and is like steeped in its own traditions, but you're bringing in rock influences. Mitch is bringing in like jazz influences. I've heard him play for years now, and it turns into a new thing that's still polka, but we're coming at it from like 4 completely different places than maybe Frank Yankovic would have came from.
Then I'll probably listen to rap at first, and then it was like, okay, now I'm in a brief metal phase, and then it was like, okay, Euro techno, let's go.
Similar instrumentation, just not thinking about it the way that it had been thought about in previous generations.
There it is.
have like dependency on the 90s because that's when we grew up.
I'm sure we can all safely agree that the Cherry Poppin' Daddies are our largest influence as a whole.
I think the Cherry Poppin' Daddies and the Spice Girls. Those are two greatest.
Mike has posters on his wall right next to his head. You can't see them, but
oh man, I know how I'm gonna vandalize Mike's house the next time he's in town. I mean, if we want to go on the record about the Spice Girls, they are the single greatest musical influence of my life.
Yeah, my roommates, technically roommates, they live out of town, but they went to London to see the Spice Girls when they toured last.
It sounds to me like you're making up a person, like an imaginary friend that did these things. I think
my
you went.
Imaginary friends. No, I did not go.
I think you went. Can you name all 5 of them?
No. Scary, sporty. That's all I got.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can dig it out. Think about it. Scary, sporty, posh, ginger,
oh, yeah.
baby.
And you're making fun of me for having friends that went to go see them.
I didn't make fun of you. I said these friends don't exist, and you went
they
and saw
exist.
them.
So I think it's hard to like quantify, oh, what are we doing, because we're sort of in it, and it's hard to see it because it's all these little things that are collected that we do differently because we don't have to be traditional,
right?
Because some of us grew up with it and had generation after generation telling us how it's supposed to be done. So we just have a freedom to do it how we want to do it.
That's right, boys and girls. We're talking about musical freedom there, and musical experimentation, and musical influences, the things that have shaped the Chardon Polka Band and so many other great groups. In the Chardon Polka Band, of course, we strive to be a little bit different with our polka, and we bring a lot of stuff into it from our own past. And speaking of bringing a lot of stuff into it, ladies and gentlemen, right now, bringing into the program my two sons, and my beautiful wife. She gonna, sorry, I know there's junk all over the floor. Come on in here, Emily.
Hey.
All right, this is Luke on the screen and Benjamin, and I know our listeners can't really hear that. Luke, say something for our listeners. He's adorable, listeners. Benji is crying. He doesn't. Now, we wanted to show off, they have these awesome little Chardon Polka Band booties. Someone made them. They're like in the style of Chuck Taylor Converse. We were given these at a show last night. People are always gifting us things for the Rugrats. They don't like the program tonight, though. They aren't enthralled by the message we're delivering tonight. I'm sorry, boys. It's almost bedtime, isn't it? And I'm sure the listeners at home, not just viewers, but the listeners now listening to the podcast are going, what's going on? We can't see. Me and Emily had twin boys back in the month of December. So they are going on 7 months old, and they are the cutest thing you will ever see. So you must go over to our Facebook and watch the video and see these lovely boys. All right, you gotta. Okay, so while we get these boys back upstairs and get them ready for bed, I'm gonna put on a song for you guys. Check this out, friends and neighbors.
It's just another
This is just another polka, it's just another polka, but oh, what a girl in my arms, am I in heaven?
since we met? Is it my old accordion playing Romeo and Juliet? No, it's just another polka, like any other polka, but somehow the music has charms. This is just another polka, but holy smoka, oh, what a girl in my arms. This is just another polka, it's just another polka, but oh, what a girl in my arms. Am I in heaven since we met? Is it my old accordion playing Romeo and Juliet? No, it's just another polka, like any other polka, but somehow the music has charms. This is just another polka, but holy smoka, oh, what a girl in my arms. I said, oh, what a girl in my arms. Oh, what a girl in my arms. Hey! All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the moment. This is what you have tuned in for tonight. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. This is Carl Finch from the band Brave Combo. Hello, Carl.
Hey, Jake, my friend.
Oh my
Thank
goodness!
you so much for having me on your show.
Well, thank you for joining us. Oh my goodness! And of course, that was a song called "Just Another Polka" that we recently teamed up on, and of course, in the current climate with this pandemic, we teamed up remotely. So not only you and the Chardon Polka Band, but the whole Chardon Polka Band, we were all sending those parts to one another. None of us were in the same room working on that tune together. And what fun was that, right?
Yeah, and you know what a great opportunity for musicians to expand their knowledge about how to do things, right? No better time. I learned some things. I learned how to do that.
Yeah. No, it's crazy times for expansion right now. To learn new tricks, new trades, all that. Band guys are becoming video guys.
An opportunity.
Yeah, and we're all having to make do and do it. And you're right. It's a fun opportunity too. And so thank you for joining us on that track. You know, one thing for me, just thinking about that track, is you never really know what the other person is going to do. You can't see them or whatever. And I didn't hear everybody's parts until it was all finished. I went, oh, that's what my horn player did. That's awesome, you know.
It's weird, yeah. The main thing, I don't know if you feel this, the main thing that's hard is I want the music to be totally engulfing me when I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't want to just do it like I'm in a studio, you know?
Yeah.
And it's almost not, you have to really dig down deep to stay in the pocket. That's the thing that's really the hardest, is to just stay in that groove so that part's believable.
Yeah, the musical pocket is definitely something me and my guys have struggled with, especially most of the tracks we do right now. I start out with just me and a metronome, and a metronome's not a drummer. And so that's been a huge stumbling block for me. My guys, they're doing great because they don't have me to trip them up anymore. So
Yeah, I know that.
they mute
Yeah,
me, and then
I think it's going to be like I think we're gonna have plenty of opportunity to continue experimenting with this stuff for a while, at least it appears.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to figure that out. I think there's going to be a time where we're going to be able to feel it strongly enough as we're performing it that it won't seem too alien to us. And the more we do stuff, I mean, the better you get. That's just the way that goes. But I'm having a pretty good time digging down deep and seeing what I can come up with within the confines of this. As one of the places where I'm confined.
That's right. We're looking at Carl's home studio there, huh?
Well, this is my office at the house, but it's also, if you see that window over there,
yeah,
that goes out into what's called a catio. So cats are always going in and out of that.
It's the cat entrance.
Yeah, check this out. So see, you're a cat, and you're gonna just go like, there you go.
I love it. That's brilliant. That's a cat's eye view you just gave us, Carl.
Yeah,
Carl,
that's something I've never seen even. So I'm jealous of you guys.
I mean, wow, it's really. I mean, you've given our viewers just a new look on life. I'd like to think.
There you go. All right. I wish I'd had a GoPro for that, Jake. It made that so much more dramatic. I'm sorry.
We're getting there. All right, so Carl, let's backtrack because we're just talking about a track that we did. But first of all, some of our watchers, some of our listeners may not know who you are, and some people may not even know who I am. Maybe they're joining the show because of you, so they don't know who I am. Let me share a story, and then I want to turn things over to you for a bit. When I was Carl, I started playing accordion when I was like 14 years old, and I had all these records from Goodwill and from garage sales. It was Lawrence Welk, Myron Florin, Frankie Yankovic, and I loved Yankovic and the Cleveland sound, and I loved it so much, and I connected to the humor in the music, and I was playing accordion, and I connected to what was going on musically. I loved it. I connected to the lyrics and the humor, but there was something that was truly missing in the connectivity of that music to my own generation. So I was in high school at the time, and I was going, how do I translate Frankie Yankovic to my high school peers? How do I do that? And then through like music downloading on the internet, I stumbled upon Brave Combo, the Polkaholics, Polka Side, and literally you could see the light go on over my head because I went, these guys are working on polka right now. Lawrence Welk, Frankie Yankovic, they were not contemporaries in that time. They were all past musicians. And I found this group of musicians working on polka right now, and they were working on it in extreme ways. Kind of what I'm referring to today on the show is kind of, it's alternative polka. It was polka. It was some of the same music Yankovic played, and with the same musical prowess, but bringing something entirely new to the table, and something entirely cool and awesome and accessible for a new generation that maybe wouldn't have looked at polka before, if that makes sense. So now, Carl, that's kind of where I'm coming at this from, and that's how I found Brave Combo. And I gotta say, you guys and just a handful of other bands really changed my life and showed me what we could do with the music to make it accessible for our generation, for our people. So Carl, who is Brave Combo? And tell us a little bit of your story. How did this band come about?
Well, first of all, thank you for that. That means a lot to me. And that was one of our goals, was to reach people like you. So did you grow up with it? I mean, you grew up in Ohio, and so did you.
I grew up, I had heard Lawrence Welk a lot, but I got an accordion when I was 14 and just kind of jumped into this music.
Why did that, how did that happen? Why did you get the accordion?
Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but before that, you weren't listening to it growing up. It wasn't that much in your family. It wasn't a part of all that.
Not music was, but not polka. Only through we watched Lawrence Welk on Saturday nights.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of the same for me. I grew up in Northeast Texas, where there was like zero polka awareness, none. There was no polka culture other than that, other than mainstream stuff like Lawrence Welk or maybe a little bit of Frankie Yankovic. But so I knew of it only because a friend of mine's dad had Lawrence Welk 8-tracks, and we would drive around Texarkana and listen to these 8-tracks of Lawrence Welk, and his organist was Bob Ralston, and he really loved, and that was just great. I mean, driving around neon drenched Texarkana streets when I was in high school with Bob Ralston music playing just sent chills up my spine. Just the incongruity of it, it just really spoke to me. But that was my exposure. And then I went to school and got a degree and got a couple of art degrees and was working on my MFA in drawing and painting. And I stumbled across a store that was selling a whole bunch of polka records. They were all cutouts, and we were almost to that point where CDs were coming in and LPs were going out, and a bunch of distributors were just dumping LPs like crazy. It was a wonderful time. You could buy LPs for 50 cents. I mean, you could come home and you would probably have been like me. I bought like 50 polka records, Didn't know much about it. Went back to, I lived in Denton then. I was at the University of North Texas. So I lived in Denton, came back to Denton, had all these polka records and started listening to them. And the jackets were intriguing. And I was also getting pretty sick of rock and roll at the time. The big corporate rock kind of ruled, and punk was starting to kind of creep in a little bit. And the disco was kind of establishing itself, but the rock scene was just becoming like old rich guys. It just didn't look like anything. It just looked like old rich guys. So I was looking to do something different anyway, and suddenly I was listening to these records, and this music just started speaking to me. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I just started loving it, and I started consuming it like as fast as I could get my hands on it, and started establishing for myself what I liked and what I didn't like, but just got really into it. And I also knew about polka's reputation in pop music. I knew it was the music that you'd play if you wanted to have a joke or something, or a musical joke, or make fun of something, or if you wanted to laugh, you would mention polka or accordions, and then combine that with I grew up with people telling Polish jokes, so there was this whole kind of anti-polka culture, anti-accordion culture, and so I was digging this music, and I was starting to not understand why it had been treated so badly, because the music was great. And I'm thinking, man, I think maybe if I put together a band and play this stuff like a rock band, and this is important because and then have no attachments, like try to have no cultural attachments, nothing. It's just about the music, period. Starts and stops with the music. We knew nothing about whether it was Slovenian or Polish or Tejano. All we knew is that we were finding this stuff like crazy and consuming it. And I happened to find Lyle Atkinson, who had been actually wanting to do this for a while. He lived here, a guy in the music school, and Tim Walsh, who had hired me to play piano for dance, like ballet classes at the university. But he was a woodwind player and was really into Irish music, but ethnic music in general. And then we just happened to find a drummer that was really into Tex-Mex polkas and cumbias. And so we just all stumbled together, and we all dug the music, and then we started playing it. And our goal, what's funny is we wanted to do that, but our goal ultimately was to sound like a real polka band. Yeah. So we'd rehearse like crazy, and we were playing this stuff fast and loud, and but we wanted to get to a point where we would hear our recordings and go, man, that really sounds like a real polka band. So really we were all kind of sort of nerdy, cool, nerdy kind of. I mean, we knew we were kind of plugging into oddball things. We were aware of that, but we also all really hated the mainstream. We hated everything about it. We hated the way people thought. We hated the music that was coming out of it. We just hated the lack of passion. And so, once I realized that polka is established on a formula, which is tension and release, but like all music, but it really maximizes that. You got the verse and you get the chorus, man, woohoo! Jump through the roof. And so we just thought, man, let's just maximize that even more. Like when we get to the choruses, let's just blow people out of the water. So that was the beginning, and then that's how it started. And none of us really knew anything about it, but we knew that it deserved a better reputation because the music was fantastic, and we just wanted to get that across to people.
Well, you truly have blown people out of the water for over 40 years now, correct?
Yeah, that's a sad fact.
Hey, it's something to be proud of. In this 40 years, okay, so you just got, I say just, I think it was like 2 years ago, you were inducted into the International Polka Hall of Fame, right? And then, okay.
Which is mind-blowing.
I saw the article and I went, what?
I know. And that wasn't a goal, but you can't imagine how proud I am, because I've wanted everybody to always know, because in the beginning, the polka world was so conditioned to being made fun of.
Yeah.
It was so conditioned that they really couldn't imagine a band like Brave Combo jumping into this without us just turning it into a bigger joke. They couldn't imagine. And like you were into Weird Al. I know him very well, and I know where his heart is. Man, the guy's he's pure,
Yeah.
He loves the music. He's into the music. He knows a lot about polka music. He can really play it. And polka music has always walked that line too, where humor has been allowed, where other styles they dance around it. But I've always loved how polka music automatically laughs at itself. It gets it right away. But that also, man, that should be a badge of power then, because you know the score. If you know the score, man, take advantage of that. And so, our thing, like I said, I can't say this enough. It's really, it's always been about the music, because the music in itself had the power. And all the musicians we've gotten to know, man, they're kind of all there. They're kind of all in the same place. Everybody from Eddie Blazonczyk, I can't think of a more just purely musical human being than that guy.
Yeah.
He, no matter what he did, he wasn't out there banging the polka drum. He was just playing great polkas.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like being overtly proud about it. He was just doing his best to deliver. And I'm telling you, I've been just, man, oh man, my jaw has dropped millions of times. I wish I could tell you the feeling of seeing Scrubby and the Dynatones the first time. Oh man, nothing can surpass it, ever, nothing. But it's the same as seeing Steve Jordan, Esteban Jordan, the Tejano Jimi Hendrix of the accordion. There's nothing that the only thing I can relate that to is, wow, how crazy must it be on the surface of Venus? That's as close as I get.
Oh man, well you're also describing the way I feel about Brave Combo, and like I said, some of these other great alternative bands, the Polkaholics out of Chicago, Polkas on Guitar. Before,
see, how bold is that, man?
Yeah,
how bold is that?
Well,
and these guys get with Little Wally.
Yeah, they did a whole album, or it's like a 2-piece album with Lil Wally.
you work with some of these legends and you find out that they're really, like I was saying, they're kind of about music first.
Yeah.
And then this is just what they do. But they are listening, they're trying to create intriguing, great music, whatever it is,
Right.
Oh man, I mean, when I think about the moments that I've been able to experience only because I've been allowed into this community, I can't imagine that everybody in the world doesn't get to feel this. It's mind blowing.
It is. It's a wonderful community, mind blowing community, and so many cool moments and just left field moments. I get the feeling like you're on another planet sometimes.
There are no rules. Our music world doesn't operate exactly like all the others.
Yeah.
The ways we've had to construct certain things to make things happen for ourselves, that because the infrastructure hasn't been there for us. But I'm telling you, it is available. And you guys put out videos, and you're so smart to be embracing that and understanding it, because this has to happen, and they've really got to be good, and they've really got to be interesting, and the music's got to be rocking. But it can happen. I think that in a way, the playing field is more level than it's ever been.
Yeah. Well, that's what the video and recording at home has done for just the music industry at large. We can make albums, we can make videos. You don't have to go to a studio to make a music video. It's awesome. Well, Carl, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause the conversation. We're gonna come back to you, but I want to play another song. All right? I want to play one of your songs.
Right.
All right. Stick around. Yeah, I'm gonna play one of your songs.
Yeah.
They've heard enough of the Chardon Polka Band on this show.
I'll stick around then.
All right, here we go.
Your turn. Everybody sing. La 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 la. Let's polka. Flying saucer. 1, 2, 1, 2. Tired of the same old job and the same old recreation. My life in general bores me to the core. I need a permanent vacation, but I'm not gonna fool myself. I'm not gonna tell me lies. I won't pretend anything at all, but I really need a big surprise. Come on! I wanna see a flying saucer. I wanna see a flying saucer. I wanna see a land in my car. Flying mansion over my backyard. Carry me off to the nearest star. I wanna see a flying saucer. I wanna see a flying saucer. I don't want to read your book. I don't want to hear your tale. Don't want to see any photos you took or get UFO news in the mail. I want to see something not from Earth, something new to understand, something way beyond the sex, death, or birth, or playing music in this band. I want to see a flying saucer. I want to see a flying saucer. I want to see a land in front of my car. Flying windshield over my backyard. Carry me off to the nearest star. I want to see a flying saucer.
All right. Well, Carl.
Here I am.
Oh, there he is. I thought I was going to have to play another song.
No, I'm right here.
All right. So, Carl, we just listened to the Flying Saucer polka. And, of course, before that, we were talking about out-of-this-world experiences. It seems you wrote a polka about that, Flying Saucer polka. Like no other polka out there. I mean, it doesn't talk about beer. It doesn't talk about Pennsylvania. It's not about a breakup. It's about flying saucers. Just one of the many quality songs y'all have delivered, quality experiences y'all have delivered. I want to mention you've gotten 2 Grammys, right?
Yeah, somehow.
And
I don't know how that happened.
I wanted to point this out, and I was thinking about this the other day. So not only do you have 2 Grammys, you've also been featured on The Simpsons multiple times, right? You've been on The Simpsons more than once.
Well, we've had our music on there, but we've been actually animated just once.
Okay, you've been the yellow people on The Simpsons. You've been one of those characters. Now, I gotta say this. Maybe I thought too much about this, but I was going, all right. If I was to highlight some of your accomplishments, I went, which is more powerful, the Grammys or the Simpsons? Like, I feel like if we shot a time capsule into space, and it was about the last 100 years, we probably wouldn't include Grammy information, but The Simpsons would be in that time capsule. I mean, that show's been on forever. It is like a hallmark of our culture, and I can't believe you guys have gotten on. That's amazing. That's mind-boggling. Oh my goodness.
I've actually thought about. Well, we've been really, Jake. We've been really, really lucky, and we've been really lucky that just the right people were there for us at just the right times. And so many, it happened, it kind of still does, but in those days it was so fast and furious that we didn't know what to attribute it to other than I really think there's something to this music that just gets to people, and I mean, you're talking from experience too. I mean, I'm telling you, one of my favorite things that you guys, one of the videos is your hymns and beer night with the polka, or is it hymns and polka?
Beer and hymns, yeah.
Beer and hymns, yeah, that's it. So, like, that's right, just that in itself, and then you guys. So you've got beer, hymns, and then you guys, and playing a very respectful, was it How Great Thou Art?
Yeah.
Very respectful version. And then the camera is panning, and some people are like 100% buying into it, right?
Yeah.
Like 100%. And I know that part of that is important to you that has nothing to do with humor. I know that the musical side of that is important to you, and that comes through. And that's the line you've got to walk, like, especially for us. Well, maybe you guys too. I mean, we didn't have polka people in the band, so there was, like, none of us had polka lineage. So we all were going into this pretty blind, really, just being driven by the love of the music, and whatever else happened, we hope that we didn't offend too many people along the way, because that was not the point ever. We wanted to always appear to be, because we were respectful of the music. We didn't want it to look like it was just about the humor. On the other hand, Brave Combo's one of our the creeds we live by is everything is sacred and nothing is sacred.
That's beautiful.
That's, man, you find that spot where people don't, it's not like they don't know where you are, but they're also not intimidated by it or defensive about it.
Yeah.
You've got to be the biggest fool in the room in a way, because everybody will get comfortable if you're going out on the longest limb, and I would say you don't have a problem with that.
Well, I'm usually the biggest fool in the room, but
yeah, so am I.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Well, you guys, I gotta say, it seems to me like polka music over the last 40 years has been kind of like a playground for you guys, where you've gotten to play with all these musical toys, with all these different tricks and fun things and different styles, because you bring so much variety into it. We never know. We've seen you guys in person several times now at the festivals and stuff. I got your CDs. I even got a vinyl. But you never know when it's going to go from polka to salsa to Jimi Hendrix. You just never know. And it just sounds so fun. But just as much fun as that, it sounds like you guys are having the time of your lives.
Yeah, and but you hit on an important point there. We are, but our attention span's also pretty short. So, and listen, I'm not kidding. We just played a polka. Let's play something. We just played a cha-cha. No more cha-chas.
Let's do a tango now. That's the magnetism of your band. I'm thinking of the Linde Oktoberfest there in Tulsa. Magnetism of that tent, just everybody flocking to that tent, and this people are on the edge of their seats if they're even sitting in them, going, what's gonna happen next? And that's certainly something we strive for in our music, and one of the reasons we do that is because of Brave Combo. You guys do it better than anybody else, man, because you guys got the technical know-how to play all these different kinds of music. It's a wonderful thing.
Learning to play polkas, and so like we figured out the difference between Slovenian and, let's say, Chicago style Polish or Buffalo style Polish. We figured that out. Oh man, what's going on here? Okay, so then we're going, well, what about this East Coast Polish? And then what about someone like Eddie Roddick compared to someone like Joey Miskulin as player? And then we're going, wow, Eddie's kind of out there. Like he's playing a lot of intentionally dissonant stuff when he gets to the release section of the song. He's hitting those half steps together. But it's intentional. And it was, wow, there's a lot of I don't know, man. I mean, with Eddie, it sounds like there's quite a bit of and God, Joey for sure. There's a lot of jazz influence in how they play, and that's something I started noticing with a lot of the players I love. Like a lot of those guys, this is an interesting, and you probably know this, but you might not, that when people were moving to the United States from Europe, they were also moving to Mexico. And Monterey is where a lot of European immigrants moved to. And they brought with them European melodies and the accordion. This was in the 1800s. So they introduced the accordion to Mexico. Like that's how that happened.
Yeah.
So they were there, and they were bringing this variety: Polish, Slovenian, German, Czech, like a lot of different. It wasn't just one style. It was a lot of different styles. And then that music just sort of kind of started reaching out, and it really reached up to the Texas-Mexico border. And that was like a lot of that area of Mexico is like kind of a rural kind of a poor class, or maybe just more rural class, more country people. So they got that kind of blended with the whole cowboy thing there at the border. And isn't that weird? And the guitar and all of that, and that sensibility. And then you started getting just a little bit of that mariachi, kind of classical mariachi influence. And so this whole new form of music that never existed before, the Tejano, whatever you call it, Tejano, Norteño, Conjunto, that never existed before. And it's really not that old. Then you start to see the parallels between what they were doing. Like, I don't know if you know, like Paulino Bernal, accordionist. You need to check him out if you don't know him. He'll blow your mind. But his style was like conjunto meets classical meets mariachi. He played a very fast, almost like early Brave Combo, fast tempos. But it would sing 3 and 4 part harmonies fastidiously, like just mind blowing. Well, then Flacco's father comes along, and he's a little more countrified, kind of out there, and so just like Little Wally kind of condensed like the Polish big band down to just 5 or 6 pieces, and then put all the emphasis on the rhythm section for a while. Flacco's dad, his dad did the same thing. like the bands that were playing the polkas, a lot of them were bigger bands, but he put the emphasis, like took it away from the accordions and put it more on the bass and the drums. So got more into the groove, and they all slowed them down at the same time. The tempos slowed down, so they started exploring the subdivisions of the beat. So instead of all of that became just as important.
Yeah.
And man, finally, some of these Tejano guys were just arpeggiating the accordion to establish that. So we're getting so they're like arpeggiating the chords. It's just a mesmerizing sound. And then similar to how the bellows shake, how the Polish style incorporated the bellows shake to establish that. You know, I'm pretty excited about this stuff now. I think you can tell.
I can tell. Well, you're excited about music, you know.
Absolutely.
For as long as you've been doing it, you're still excited by music, and that's...
See, like you mentioned tangos. Like, man, I really want to do an album of tangos, but play them all as twists.
Now's the time, Carl.
But you know what? The way I know that is because Perez Prado already did it.
Oh well, yeah.
So he took all his mambo, well, more like mambos, not tangos, mambos and all that stuff. And when the twist craze hit, he took his, da 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 da, those famous old mambos, and he put out an album, which was all his mambo hits played as twists.
I love it.
I love that more than almost anything.
I'm gonna look forward to your version, Carl.
Well, it's right there. We already do it. We're a step ahead of you.
Just love it.
We play Hernando's Hideaway the way Perez Prado played it.
That's good stuff. All right, Carl. Thank you for joining us on this program tonight. It's always, no one ever knows what they're gonna see or hear on this program, from Carl Finch to a cat patio. You just never know what's going to happen. Sometimes we play music the whole time. Sometimes we just talk the whole time. I never know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to talk to Carl for 5 minutes or 20 minutes, or if my wife's going to be dragging me out of here at midnight going, you got to stop talking to Carl.
Hey, the next time we talk, and I need to get Jeff, we need to do it with Jeff, but we need to tell you about the first time we played with Polka Side in San Francisco.
Okay.
It was just the most unbelievable thing, and boy, did we feel like we were where we should be. It was a giant polka love-in like you cannot imagine, from a bunch of people who had no idea what they were doing.
Really?
Yeah, it was... First time was just amazing. The leader of the band, Ward, would get the drummer to stop by throwing beer cans at him.
What? Oh my gosh!
Like, it's time to stop.
We're gonna have to put out an audio book. That's the next project. Jake Cowie interviews Carl Finch audio book.
Okay. Well, I'll behind the scenes on the early days of this. Oh, the Dreadnoughts, right?
Yeah. Canadian.
That's Polka Never Dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pinnacle for me. I'm so glad to have lived in a time when that song was created.
That song was created about you, Carl.
I don't know. All right. Well, thank you, Jake.
Yeah. Hey, I love you, Carl. Polka never dies.
Absolutely.
All
Adios.
Right. Hey, we'll catch you later, Carl. Oh, my goodness, folks. A dream come true. Talking to Carl Finch here on the broadcast. And like I said, you never know what you're going to get with this little variety program. I don't know what you're going to get when I launch into it every week. Sometimes we interview. Sometimes we play some music. That's Carl Finch from Brave Combo. One of my heroes. I cannot believe I just got to interview him for what 40 minutes, a half hour. One of my all-time polka heroes, folks. And speaking of polka, I'll play some more before we gotta go off the air, right? That's that's why it's a variety program. We go between interviews, music, And if you've never heard of Brave Combo before, make sure you check these guys out. Facebook, their website, bravecombo.com. Amazing band. He was talking about throwing beer at a drummer. A man after my own heart. In heaven there is no beer. That's why we drink it here. And when we're gone from here, our friends will be drinking all our beer. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. In heaven there's no beer. That's why we drink it here. When we are gone from here, our friends will be drinking all our beer. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, Isaac writes in and asks, who is on the Accordion Babes calendar this month? That's right. It's a new month for the program, the live stream, and now the podcast. Up next to me, you can see it on the screen, and if you can't see the screen, you can hear about it, ladies and gentlemen. I have the Accordion Babes calendar. Anybody with any passing interest in the accordion or polka music should own one of these. And the woman featured on this calendar with her accordion for the month of July is Sarah Savoy. And look at her right there. There she is. Let's see where she's from. Versailles, FR. I don't know where that is. I'm a polka guy. I don't know anything about geography. Wonderful. There she is. And what, next week it'll be August already. Whoa! Hold on, we gotta go to the Kids' Corner. Of course, now it's time for the Kids' Corner, the part of the program where we speak directly to any kids watching. And I hope the kids enjoyed the interview with Carl. I know that wasn't a lot of music for you, but some good information to take to the bank, kiddos, right there. There's a pony in the back seat. There's a pony in the back seat. I'm driving down the road, trying to lighten up my load, but there's a pony in the back seat staring at me. And there's a skunk drinking coffee. I said there's a skunk drinking coffee. I hope he still can laugh when he finds out I served him a cup of decaf. There's a skunk drinking coffee staring at me. And there's a grizzly in the hot tub. There's a grizzly in the hot tub. I don't mean to raise a fuss, but this tub's too small for two of us. There's a grizzly in the hot tub staring at me. All right. A porcupine on my pillow. A porcupine on my pillow. It gives me such a thrill. It tickles me with all of his quills. A porcupine on my pillow staring at me. And there's a llama in pajamas. There's a llama in pajamas. When I go to bed, well, she just snorts and she spits on my head. There's a llama in pajamas. She's staring at me. And there's a rhino riding first class. There's a rhino riding first class. He seems to be in a fright. This must be his very first flight. There's a rhino riding first class staring at me. And the pony in the back seat is staring at me. And the skunk drinking coffee is staring at me. And the grizzly in the hot tub is staring at me. And the porcupine on my pillow is staring at me. And the llama in pajamas, well, she's staring at me. And the rhino riding first class is staring at me. They're all staring at me. Stop staring at me. Oh, our kids' corner for the night. Pony in the Backseat, a classic from the Chardon Polka Band's kids album, which you can buy on our website. It's called Pony in the Backseat. That's what the album's called as well as that song. Make sure you buy lots of merchandise on our website right now because, ladies and gentlemen, we aren't playing any shows anytime soon. At least not many of them. A lot of our big festivals have been shut down. A lot of our small shows have been shut down, and everything in between. A lot of it has been shut down in light of the pandemic. I'll play a sorrowful song to go with that message. I'm looking for a place to go so that I can be alone from thoughts and memories, so that when the music plays, I don't go back to the days when love was you and me. Oh, moja droga chico, means that I love you so. Moja droga chico, more than you'd ever know. Kołam ciebie całe city, love you with all my heart. Return to me and always be my melody of love. All right, this song was requested by our platform beer man, Mr. Michael Lukacs there. His brings us the platform beer, so we'll play whatever he wants to hear. I'm looking for a place to hide my sorrow and my pride. I just can't get along, for the love that once was mine keeps on hurting all the time. Where did I go wrong? Oh, moja droga chico, means that I love you so. A little Bobby Vinton for you. Moja droga chico, more than you'd ever know. Kołam ciebie całe city, love you with all my heart. Return to me and always be my melody of love. Return to me and always be my melody of love. Big finish here. Return to me and always be my melody of love. was a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. And we hope you guys have enjoyed the show tonight and think the whole show was a beautiful thing. You never know what's going to happen when you tune in. We guarantee we're going to have a good time. I hope you guys have a good time with it. Sometimes it's an interview. Sometimes it's music. Sometimes it's music from bands all around the country. Oh, my goodness. Like this next one. I want to play another song from another band. As we were speaking about alternative polka, these guys crossed my mind. They're a great group. Great friends of ours, the Polka Knots from Denver, Colorado. And they're going to play a song we play a whole lot. It's called Ice Cubes and Beer. I figured since it's summertime, this would be a good one to play for you. And since we were talking about alternative polkas, this one would be a good one to play for you. Rock out there at home and enjoy the Polka Knots. And I'll be right back. All right, the Duckman writes in and asks a very important question. He says, jumpsuits, are they in prison? Not yet that I know of. The Polka Knots, okay, so let's break that down. Polka Knots, they're astronaut themed. Not only do they take heavy metal instrumentation and transfer it over to polka music, but they also do so in NASA uniforms. They are the Polka Knots from Denver, Colorado. You got to look these guys up. So they do some more traditional polkas as their metal polka covers, like Ice Cubes and Beer, but they also do metal songs, like we're talking Ozzy Osbourne and all that good stuff, and they turn them into polkas. Once again, all wearing space jumpsuits. These guys are phenomenal, and that ties into what I kind of wanted the program to be about tonight, ladies and gentlemen, what I consider alternative polka. And when I say that, there's nothing wrong with Yankovic, there's nothing wrong with Lawrence Welk and Myron Florin, Blazonczyk, all these wonderful old bands. That's what first got me into polka music. But I just love bands that are ever evolving and ever pushing this genre forward, because the genre needs to be pushed forward if it wants to stay alive. There's nothing wrong with these old polkas, but we want to present them in a way that's modern and present them in a way that makes sense to the folks around us. When I was 15 years old playing polka music, I couldn't present that music the same way Yankovic or Lawrence Welk would. I would have been beaten up at school if, like the Yankovic covers. I don't think I have one of my Frankie Yankovic covers down here, but he had these big poofy shirts. It was like a pirate shirt, and like sequin vests. And if I had worn that to high school, my high school was a very nice high school, but someone would have stuffed me in a locker. Come on. And so I love to see this music approached with attitude and with edge, and approached a little differently. It's just wonderful, and that's, of course, what Brave Combo does, and those guys, the Polka Knots. There's a lot of great alternative polka bands out there, and I think the Chardon Polka Band, we're an edgy polka band, at least we are at times. If you're down in the dumps or feeling blue, I'll tell you what you should do. Turn up the music, take a chance. We'll have us a polka dance. We're gonna polka all night till the morning comes to take us away. We're gonna polka all night, and when tomorrow comes, we're gonna polka all day. The rhythm's bumping, it's time to go. You can't just sit there and watch a show, so grab your lady, hit the floor, polka till you can't take it no more. We're gonna polka all night till the morning comes to take us away. We're gonna polka all night, and when tomorrow comes, we polka all day. It ain't too hard, sway to the beat, jump up and down and move your feet. We'll party like nobody can. We're the Chardon Polka Band. Gonna polka all night till the morning comes to take us away. Gonna polka all night. When tomorrow comes, we polka all day. Oh, let's see where this one's going. Oh, we got the right to choose it. There ain't nowhere we lose it. This is our right, this is our song. We'll fight the powers to be just. Don't pick our destiny, cause you don't know us, you don't belong. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. Hey! Take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. All right, for those of you guys listening on the podcasted version of this, usually I play with a full band, and those are the guys with the talent. They're the talent. I'm the front man, which means I stand up in front with the accordion, and I introduce the rest of the band who is actually talented. I was telling our audience this last night. We actually got to play a live show in Doylestown, Ohio, and we're playing. I think we're playing old style, and I'm sitting there jamming on accordion, going old style, beer. But all the guys are playing solos, so I introduce Mike Franklin. He solos on the guitar. I introduce Mitch Lawrence, and he solos like a madman on the saxophone. I introduce Bob Young, and he does a drum solo. And then I tell the people, that's my job. That's what I do. I introduce other people who are going to play their instruments well, and I just kind of am there on my accordion. And I'm kind of here on the accordion tonight with you fine folks whom I love so dearly. Thank you for tuning in, whether it be podcast, live stream, or whatever. And if you tuned out, thank you for tuning out as well. Tune in, tune out. The Chardon Polka Band, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jake Cowie, and we're going to work on wrapping up the show. All right, before we go, got to cover a few bases. Eat lots of Conjun's Pizza. Wonderful, wonderful supporters of the Chardon Polka Band. You can find Conjun's Pizza right there in our hometown, Chardon, Ohio. Get one of their Chicago deep dishes. Maybe Mike Franklin himself will make it for you. That's right. Oh, another shout out to Platform Beer. Tell them to give me lots of beer, folks. At Platform Beer, their beer makes this live stream podcast and all these shenanigans possible. And if you really like us, if you want to support the Chardon Polka Band during these times or any times, you can send a check. P.O. Box 908, Burton, Ohio, 44021. I usually tell people I check the P.O. Box every other week, but during the pandemic, I don't know what day it is anymore. It could be months. I don't know. I just go there once in a while. There's stuff in there. You can tip us on Venmo, venmo.com/Chardon Polka Band. For those of you unfamiliar with .coms, the com stands for computer. We're also on Patreon. You can become a monthly patron of the Chardon Polka Band at various levels and support all of our creative endeavors on a monthly basis. That's right. Make sure you go patreon.com/Chardon Polka Band. I think I missed a note in there. Last Saturday night, I got married. Me and my wife settled down. Now me and my wife, we are parted. Not really, it's just a song. And I'll go to the other side of town. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Now sometimes I live in the country, and sometimes I live downtown, and sometimes I take a notion that I'll jump into the river and drown. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night. Live stream. I'll see you in my dreams. Jake Cowie, lyrical genius right here. I gotta be a genius at something. I'm not a genius at playing the accordion. Something I've been doing for 20 years. Still can't figure out what these darn buttons do. All right, that's the program tonight. Thank you, Carl Finch from Brave Combo. Thank you, most importantly, to all of our viewers and listeners out there. We hope you all enjoyed the program. Stop your rambling. Stop your gambling. And stop staying out all night. Go home to your wives and your families. And sit down by the fireside bright. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Oh, was a beautiful thing, I think. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, listeners, viewers, all of you. Thank you so much for supporting the Chardon Polka Band. We love you. We're going to have more material to share with you next week, 6:30 p.m. That's when we do the live stream, Saturday evenings. 6:30 p.m. And if you didn't like the show this week, tune in next week. It'll be completely different. And then if you don't like that one, tune in the week after, because it gets a facelift every week. Same face, but different material every week. Never know what's going to be going on this program, and that's why I love it, and I hope you guys love it too. So for our closer today, as our outro, I will leave some Brave Combo playing for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you. Much love from the Chardon Polka Band to all of you, and join us next week.
All right, now who's Lakishka? And then there was Geese.
Yeah.
Which you didn't say the last gig we played.
I didn't say Geese?
No, you skipped the Geese, man. I had the thing ready to go, and got nothing.
Almost walked off.
I almost quit. I almost quit the band.
Trying to keep you on your toes.
Ugh.
Can't hear you getting bored with these shenanigans.
That bike horn solo's in my contract.
Yeah.
All right.
Rider.